Alafia. So I am currently headed west on I-30. Um, I left Dallas, Texas about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. Uh, yeah, about 2 hours ago. And I'm headed back to San Diego, California, my hometown. After 5 years living in Dallas, um, and it's bittersweet, but uh, I don't know where I'm at. I'm in Eastland, Texas currently, but it's bittersweet because um, there are many things that I left behind, but mainly my daughter, my youngest daughter. I'm excited about what is to come. I'm excited about uh, my process, uh, where I'm headed in terms of going after the things that my heart wants to do, the things that are in alignment with my destiny. And I know these terms are cliche, but it's very real for me. It has to be real for me. Um, Number one, because I've made so many sacrifices to do this. I'm really kind of going back to nothing. I sold my car in 2021, or sorry, 2022, to get back to Dallas from Utah. I sold my semi truck in 2021 to get out of the industry and get back and to travel to Utah. So all of the things that I owned, that I possessed, that uh, held me to the life of a truck driver, held me to the life of uh, the man that I was in the family that I was building at the time, are gone. And, I feel quite a bit like Elizabeth Gilbert, the author in Eat, Pray, Love, or who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, because I feel like I'm becoming someone else. I am, while I'm going back to nothing, excuse me, I also know that I am uh, completely changing my career. And not only will those things change drastically, but also I know that I'm going to change drastically. As I changed when I left for Dallas, you know, there comes a time when we are reborn, and that's really what I wanted to talk about. As much as I tried my best to um, see my daughter, my youngest daughter, in Dallas, who still lives in Dallas, her mother, for her own reasons, didn't want me to see her. It's been, at this point in time, 19 months and 2 days since I have seen her in person. Um, and it saddens me, of course, but one thing that I have learned over and over in my life is that when I accept my limitations, that's when the transcendence arrives. And I realized that there was nothing left for me to do in terms of trying to see her, in terms of trying to, make peace with her mother, um, take accountability, take responsibility for the part I played, you know, whatever needed to happen. It still wasn't happening. And work was hard to find. And when I did find work, I ended up losing those jobs for various reasons. Just a lot of barriers, a lot of walls, a lot of obstacles, immovable obstacles, insurmountable obstacles that really kind of forced my hand. Um, and so, who wants to go back to their mother's house? Who wants to, you know, as a 40-year-old man who has almost nothing. I mean, I still have stuff here in the car with me, but um, a 40-year-old man who is rebuilding his life, who is essentially discovering himself. It's so interesting when you look at people as they age and you see them go through the process of uh, midlife crisis. One second. Um, it's a lot. It's a lot to uh, process when you have gotten so far off track with your destiny that you hit this wall, you hit this space, you come to this point in your life where drastic measures have to be taken. Drastic measures that require you to either accept your life and that it's just going to be disappointing for the rest of your life, or accept the fact that the path that you're on is not your path. And that if your life is going to be a life that you love, a life that you can be happy with when you reach 80 years old, 90, 100 years old, you look back and say, yes, I did that. I'm satisfied, I'm fulfilled. If you're going to reach that point, there's going to have to be some drastic measures taken. There's going to have to be a point where you leap into the unknown without much of a plan, without much of an understanding as to how things are going to happen, but knowing that things are going to happen the way that they're meant to happen. It is part of rebirth. When we are born, we are taken through the process of being incubated, being held and comforted and warm and fed and um, not even having to worry about what it is we can see, what it is that uh, we have to do in order to survive. We are taken care of in the womb. Every one of our needs is cared for. We don't even have to open our eyes. Rebirth in life is kind of like that. You go from one realm to another. You will not recognize the new realm, but it is a realm that holds an entire new life for you that is completely different than the life you had prior to. Completely different than the womb, completely different than the realm you were in before the womb. It's a transformation. And people don't realize that rebirth in life is like that. There is a required death. And this is what I've learned and am learning in this moment, in this season, in this restructuring, remembering, reminding of my life, that I am going from one realm to another. That the parts of me that are to be made new have to die. They have to. And when we look at that as death, there's a sadness, there's an attachment, there's a trying to hold on to it, and all of the things that come along with that. But when we're being born from a human woman's womb, we don't think about all the things we're leaving behind. We're looking forward at the life that we have been tasked with. We're looking forward at the destiny that we have chosen. We're looking forward at the uh, purpose that we are here to realize. We're looking forward at the family and the friends and the acquaintances and all of the connections that will help us to accomplish that destiny. Forward, not backwards, forward. And it doesn't mean that everybody from the past cannot partake in the newness of our lives, but it does mean that those who cannot will only fall off or remove themselves or be removed from your life if you let go of the past, if you let go of the old self. How can you see improvement? How can you be around billionaires if you keep broke folks with broke mindsets around you? And it's not about money, I'm just giving you a concept. How can you be around creatives if you keep people who are um, denying their own creativity? How can you be around musicians if you keep people around you that don't even like music? How can you be around spiritualists if you keep people around you who refuse to tap their spirituality? How can you be a genius if you keep people around you who are ignorant or who forsake their own genius? It is something that must be done. It is a process that we must look at from a different lens. It is not death, it is transformation. Because even death is not death, it is transformation. To move from death to life, from a soul to a human being with a soul, or a soul with a human body, it's not death. It's not becoming alive. It is just transformation. Your soul was already living before you were born. Your soul is still living when you die. It is not death. It is transformation. So when we look at this concept of death and rebirth, yes, it's going to be or can be painful, but only if you look at it as death. Only if you look at it from a standpoint where you feel like you are losing yourself. You're not losing yourself. You're gaining yourself. Gaining. Addition by subtraction, if you will. I don't know what the future holds completely. I know some things, whether it was through my own dreams, whether it was through a Dafa reading, whatever, whether it was through something that someone else said to me or dream they had about me, whatever. I've been given glimpses, but at the end of the day, I don't know all the details. I'm not supposed to know. It takes the fun out of it. What I do know is that I am finally allowing myself to find myself. And I'm excited about the opportunity. It is a it is an opportunity of solitude, but I like solitude. There's an opportunity that requires me to walk alone, but I'm not lonely. And I am very excited about what is to come. Very excited. So now begins the journey. It's so interesting also that this all happens. Today is April 8th, 2025. Just so happens, this was not planned, that I am making this trip on the 1 year anniversary of the super eclipse that took place April 8th, 2024. When I looked at my memories on social media, and I was like, oh wow, there were many intentions made that day. And a year later, experiencing this was not in my cards, but I do see it as.
There's an object on road ahead.
Uh-oh, I do see it as the beginning of uh, the manifestation of that. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, I appreciate you all. just for listening. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.